Something bigger has to be done for the Baltimore Ravens. There needs to be more from this team. And what I mean when I say that, the Carl Lawson move, it was nice. It's a safe move, but I don't think that should be the end-all be-all. I do still expect the Baltimore Ravens to make a trade of some significance on the interior of the defensive line. But wait, there's more, because I feel like that still may not be enough. It'll be good, but it won't be enough for what the Baltimore Ravens really need to do to get a significant change out of this defense. Example, Odafe Away, 5 games with the Baltimore Ravens, didn't produce anything, wasn't looking good. The Ravens knew, like, hey, we're not going to pay this guy after the year. You know what? Let's go ahead and get rid of him. They got rid of him, traded him to the Chargers. 5 games with the Baltimore Ravens, 0 sacks. 3 games with the Chargers, 2 sacks. Coincidence? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, my friends. When we looked at several players from the Baltimore Ravens, under Mike Macdonald, we saw ballers in Marcus Williams. We saw a baller with Roquan Smith. We saw the play of Brandon Stevens just be top tier. This man was killing it. He was locked down. We even saw Trenton Simpson in a short, small sample size look like a baller. But then once they got under Zach Orr's defense, everything changed for the worse. Everything dropped. Everything went downhill for all of those players, and I'm sure there are actually more as well. I mean, we've seen the entire defense. An entire defense full of stars, full of ballers. We just saw them drop tremendously once Zach Orr took over. So when I say the Baltimore Ravens need to do something more, I'm just worried that adding a player, even a player of significance, I'm worried that it could help, but it might just not be enough. And the Baltimore Ravens need to look within this scheme to try to find the ultimate fix. How is it that, again, with Mike Macdonald, and I hate to just keep bringing him up, but that's the only comparison I have to go off of when it comes to Zach Orr and his defense is Mike Macdonald, because he was the previous defensive coordinator right before Zach Orr took over. That's why these past year and a half under Zach Orr have been so surprising, because I was for certain that when Zach Orr took over, I just knew, especially because he was on the staff with Mike Macdonald. And I had said it so many times, like, oh, okay, Zach Orr's taking over as defensive coordinator. Okay, that's a good move. And I know he don't got no experience, but still, he's going to take everything that Mike Macdonald did well, and he's gonna put his own spin on it, of course, but he's not just gonna come here and try to fix something that's not broken. Of course he's not gonna do that. So this should be a smooth transition for this Baltimore Ravens team. This should be a smooth transition for this Baltimore Ravens defense. And it's really been everything but that. So in order for this Ravens defense, in my opinion, in order for them to have ultimate success, this scheme has got to change, and I know that's asking for the world, especially with the timing of everything. They're not going to, if they haven't fired Zach Orr by now, they're not going to do it. If they didn't do it during the bye week, there's a tiny chance, a small chance that they could do it after the Dolphins game. But of course, we're hoping that he doesn't do any fireable offenses in the Bears or the Dolphins game. But the reason I say that's the last chance that they possibly have to make a move there is because they have a little mini bye week. They have that 10-day break between the Dolphins game, and I believe the next team up that they play after that is the Minnesota Vikings. But something's got to give. It really does. And again, my biggest worry is that even if they do add a significant play, again, I still expect them to. But even if and when they do that, the scheme will still remain the same. So will we be able to get the most out of that player or those players? And will they be able to overcome this defensive scheme that has just, it's brought a lot of players down, man? Will they be able to do that? That's my biggest fear right now. Y'all know what's on my mind. Now I want to hear what's on yours. Let's get to these questions. First one came from Kenyari. Back in the building. What's up, baby? He said, what's up, Ingraven? It's been a while, huh? Yeah, it has been a while. He said, let's get straight to it. What I like from Carl Lawson is his ability to help stop the run and move the pocket. Only time he was pushed around himself was against Trent Williams. And I mean, come on, that's a Trent future Hall of Fame. If the play is on his side, his hands are getting dirty. A lot of what made me happy to see was his impact even after Micah was traded. He pushed the line, etc. without Micah, so that part has me excited. Now, I've been hurt by, what do you mean? You said even after Micah was traded. No, because I don't think Carl Lawson, he ain't played this year. I don't think he played this year. So yeah, he's been a free agent for a little while. But maybe if Michael wasn't on the field or something like that from last season. But yeah, he has only been there with Mike, I believe. I could be wrong though. But anyway, he said, now I've been hurt by this season, but I'm staying optimistic. I like that. We all trying our best, aren't we? He said, seeing we got our guy back, the one and only, and others, and looking to be the healthiest we've been all season, I wouldn't even be mad at 10-6. Well, hold up, you got to add another game in there, my friend. You still got another game. We got 17 of them things. See, this Ravens season, this got my guy Kenyari stressed out. My guy done forgot we got 17 games instead of 16 now, man. I'm right there with you, my friend. He said, because as long as we have a shot, we have a shot. Ready to turn over that leaf and break the camel back and punch that ticket. At the present, the team should know what not to do come playoffs and be well prepared. Quote me on this. I see John changing some things around moving forward because why not, right? Can't get any worse, right? That's how I feel. It can't get any worse. That's why I said you brought up Carl Lawson. We said in the video yesterday, why not play Carl Lawson from jump? What's the worst that could happen? The pass rush doesn't look good? It ain't look good all season, my friend. So anyway, he said, only thing we can do is get better. I'm ready now. I hope you fans are listening too, because at the end of the day, we are the Ravens flock. Thank you, Ingraven. Let's go Ravens. And didn't mean for this to be so lengthy. My apologies, but man, I bleed purple, and I know you all do too. Oh yeah. Next question came from Zoe. He said, I got the remedy. Hold up. Zach Orr, is this you, my friend? Let's talk. He said, how's it going, sir? Oh, it's going really good. He said, it's been a while. I'm truly disappointed how we've been playing as well as the non-adjustments. I'm on the get rid of Harbaugh train, but I was listening to Quadri, and he said, would it be a package deal to get rid of EDC as well, since he picked the players that really haven't been that good as of late? I never thought of it like that, but he is right. Clean house. To be honest, we have to weaken our rivals. I think we should go after Joe Brady, Josh Allen's offensive coordinator, and make him our head coach. That is, if we don't bring in Dion, which would be amazing. But I have a way to save the season. I would love for us to go after Quentin Williams. Send that second. He replaces Nnamdi going forward. Then we sign free agents, all for the low. Christian Wilkins, Asante Samuel Jr., Shaq Barrett. I believe Shaq Barrett just got signed yesterday by somebody. I forgot who. Anyway, he said, and Shaq Mason. Also, you trying to get another defensive tackle in free agency, another cornerback. We know we don't even use our own. Like Jair Alexander, he just been chilling. Shaq Barrett, another pass rusher, and Shaq Mason, offensive lineman. The leftover money should cover all of them since they aren't suiting up for anyone. I hope Lamar is game ready and we get this win on Sunday and we all leave out healthy. Have a great one. Now, with the Joe Brady, I don't know, man. I see some people talk about that. I don't know about that one. Now, Quentin Williams, yeah, I will be all on board for that. And again, like I said earlier at the top of the video, I do still expect the Baltimore Ravens to do something else, to do more. Because the Carl Lawson was cool, but that's just simply not enough. But again, I think the bigger issue is from within. It ain't no player, it's the scheme itself. So we'll see how things work themselves out. But I'm with you on a lot of this stuff. And then you said you trying to load up with from free agency afterwards. Now, getting another cornerback, yeah, I don't think they would do that. They got like a million corners. They got Chidobe Awuzie back healthy. And again, Jair Alexander, he's just been there. He ain't been being used, but he just been there. Marlon Humphrey's back healthy again. So you got plenty of corners. So I don't really think it's a need there. Again, the biggest thing is the defensive line and pass rush. Time to win. Next question came from my guy, Jaden. He said, what's up, Ingraven the team? Keep it clean. Lamar is back, and now it's time for us to turn this season around. I'm going to the game this weekend with my pops, who's a Bears fan, so I need the team to come out and get a dominant win. My guy said he trying to ride to that game with pops, both of them all happy, chilling, smiling, enjoying themselves. Hey, son, I love you. Oh, Dad, I love you too. But after the game, he wanted his pops to be driving silent. No words, not speaking to each other, nothing. But anyway, he said, I would hate to have to hear my pops have bragging rights until we play the Bears again. When we play them once like every 4 years. Appreciate everything you do for Flock Nation. I appreciate you, Jaden. And hopefully that ride home is silent because pops is upset. Next question came from my guy, Javon. He said, what's up, Ingravenvids team? Keep it clean. I hope all is well with you, and I wish you all peace, love, and light. I appreciate you. He said, I read an article posted by the Baltimore Sun titled, What's Wrong with the Ravens inside the Super Bowl favorite slide. It states that this report spoke to 25 people in and around the team and received information that the offense is frustrated because of lack of creativity, though I don't believe you can even attempt to be creative with that offensive line. He said defensive players are afraid to make mistakes, so they're not playing as freely as they should. In football, I was always taught if you make a mistake, make it at 110 miles per hour, and that's not happening. Another part of the article spoke about how players are no longer enjoying their jobs. Could be because of the record. Strong possibility is on the coaches who suck the enjoyment out of the game. I went through the same thing, and once the joy is gone, it didn't matter if we won or not. I just wanted the season to be over. And from that point, I never played the game I loved again. Ooh, that's powerful right there. Now, we all obviously hope that the Ravens are not in that state. That's why these next two games are everything. Having Lamar Jackson back, obviously, it gives them a boost of life and energy. So that's big right there. But ooh, that's some powerful words that you said. He said, in my opinion, the only thing that will turn this around is a fresh start with new blood running the team. I love John, I truly do. But if the team is unhappy, then it shows on the field. Hint the 1-5 start. Looking around the league and seeing good teams lose starters but still continue their success is also a hint that coaching is either horrible or players no longer want to play for that coach or system. I don't know if you've seen the article, and I hope this gets turned around quickly. Well, yeah, we went over that the other day. Now, he said, we have the best player to have ever walked this earth, and I would love for him to retire Raven with multiple Super Bowls under his belt. What's your opinion, brother? Do you think this season turns around and the players begin enjoying football again, or the same as Flacco's final season? Do we need a magical player, hopefully a rusher, to bring back that spark? Lamar Jackson, he brings back that spark. With him being out, again, you know this team is like, they obviously nothing without Lamar Jackson. And with him, like he changes so much. He changes the entire dynamic for these Baltimore Ravens. So these next two games are everything. They really are. Games against the Bears and the Dolphins, these games are everything. Because like we've talked about, like y'all already know, you could go into your mini bye week, your additional bye week at 3-5. Or you could go at 2-6, or you could go at 1-7. So hopefully it's the first one. Spoiled, huh? Next question came from my guy, Israel. He said, hey, hope all is well with you and the family. Hey, appreciate you. He said, first, how did Little Man's season go, and will he be playing next season? He'll probably play next season. They still in it right now. But so we'll see how it goes. He said, how's the baby girl? And I say, baby girl, not to be stranger, I got 3 boys and 1 baby girl. She is my world. I'm spoiled. LOL. Oh yeah, they all doing good, man. I appreciate that, man. He said, so let's get to it. My question is, are we a little spoiled? Kyle saying that has hit home. I accepted his apology for sure. That's the guy, super duper Kyle, but maybe I see where he's coming from. Just walk and talk with your boy and hear me out, champ. So yes, the Ravens have always had the aggressive bully mentality, hit stick mentality, speeches that will have you run through a brick wall with vibranium plates to reinforce it. All of us would have volunteered for sure, but when I sit back and think, hey, how many Super Bowls do we have? This Ray Lewis, this Ed Reed, that Suggs, this Snyder, that Yonder, this Webb, this Smith, Bolden, etc., etc., etc. I love my boys. They won the last Super Bowl on my birthday, February 3rd, 2013. The one before that is 2001. We've been in Baltimore for 28 years. The best era we had was Ray and Ed, and we won one Super Bowl. We played against the best quarterbacks, Tom Brady. We played him 7 times. Brady won 5 regular season games. Ray won the 1 playoff game in 2013. Peyton Manning, we played 11 times and won 2 out of 11, with Manning winning the last 7 games of the series. Ravens won a 98 matchup in 2001 when we won the bowl. I can't think of any more great QBs we played against just like now. Once we played Mahomes, Allen, Stafford, etc. No one else to worry about, just like that great era. I say that to say, out of 17 wonderful seasons, we have 2 great Super Bowls. And to be honest, I don't remember him in the 2001 Super Bowl. I could have been doing other things, but we have 2 bowls in 17 years with the best linebacker in NFL history. I understand missing parts and pieces and everything, but just 2, so that means we went 15 years with no Super Bowl, which means we continuously made the playoffs and lost. So to expect anything different when we have been shown the same thing and given the same, we might be a little spoiled. Only thing we're missing is the aggression and some bullies with a good run through this wall speech. Sorry for the long message. Just been thinking about this for a couple days now, but I would rather be spoiled and win, and just like 77 should be, I'm out. Ooh, okay, all right there. Ooh, that's something. Yeah, we would much rather be spoiled and win. That would be a much better situation to be in. That would be a much fun situation to be in. And yeah, I think Kyle Hamilton, I think his comments, he was just, yeah, I think he was just frustrated. He was just really, really frustrated. And when you're frustrated and you're constantly hearing it from people in your ear, on your social media, wherever, it could be frustrating, especially I'm sure as a player too. So he did apologize for it. And I think he realized, like, hold up, this defense right now, we definitely ain't spoiling them Ravens fans. The Ravens have lost their identity. Next question came from my guy Charles. He said, "Hey, Ingraven, I've been a quiet viewer of your channel for a few years, and I respect how you break things down. Honestly, that's why I'm writing, because I feel like the Ravens have completely lost the identity that once made them great." Oh, I appreciate it, Charles. Let's get into it. He said, "Ever since Lamar Jackson's arrival, it feels like the Ravens have drifted away from the very foundation that made them great. For years, Baltimore football stood for toughness, accountability, and unrelenting championship mindset. We were the team that earned everything, never asked for handouts, never flinched, and never played the victim. I knew at the moment Lamar intentionally sat out that playoff game, you know what I'm referring to, and even seemed to root against the team just to prove how much they needed him. That's not what champions do. Lamar will never get a ring with that mindset. That may have been his only chance. Rings are earned by players who give everything for their team, who don't even think about breaking character until the job is done." That's interesting. I disagree with that. Now, I do think in 2021, 2022, think a lot of the injury, I think it was contract related. And I've continued to say that. I think it was contract related. I don't think he was rooting against him, but he was like, "Hey, look, see how you do without me." Because they were not only playing with his money, but they were playing with his name too. They were playing with his reputation. Because if you recall, back in when the whole contract negotiations first started, things got like really, really ugly, and it didn't just get ugly with the Ravens. It got ugly literally around the entire league. We remember all the collusion and stuff, and all these teams coming out. "Oh no, we're not going to sign Lamar Jackson." Well, that was at the very end of it. But even before that, all these articles and reports start coming out about Lamar Jackson's his work ethic and his habits and stuff that you had never heard of before, never. But all of a sudden, the contracts and stuff was coming from within the Baltimore Ravens organization too, within. And I said, "Oh, this is crazy." It was some crazy times. So it wasn't his mindset. It was an ugly situation, man. But anyway, continuing. He said, "We all got infatuated with Lamar and lost what it means to be true Ravens. I actually believe John Harbaugh knows this, but it looks like he's been pressured into catering to Lamar, pouring all our energy into offensive weapons while the defense has fallen apart." I think they still favor the defense heavily over the offense. They have been doing better over the years with the offense, but they still it's defense set. Defense is where most of the money goes, because you look at obviously Lamar, he's making the most money, but who else is getting paid on offense? Mark Andrews, he's in the last year of his deal. DeAndre Hopkins they got for super cheap. Zay Flowers obviously on his rookie deal, so can't do nothing about that. Tyler Linderbaum still on his rookie deal. Ronnie Stanley, he did get paid, so that was nice. Derrick Henry, he got a raise, so that was cool. But other than that, like the offense, they ain't really got no big time investments in offense financially. But then you go to defense. Roquan Smith, obviously getting a lot of money. Nnamdi Madubuike, obviously getting a lot of money, a whole lot of money. Super duper Kyle, yeah, that boy got super duper paid. He got his bread. First round pick in Malachi Stalks. Tyler Linderbaum was the first round pick now too now. The first round pick in Malachi Stalks, they went and got Jair Alexander. Now, he wasn't expensive. I think he on like a 1 year, $6 million deal, something like that. It ain't nothing too crazy. But, and even now at the trade deadline, like even when you think about the mentality of the Baltimore Ravens, obviously like, hey, we looking for interior defensive linemen. That's the expectation because Nnamdi Madubuike is out. But just even that alone, like obviously we need a defensive lineman. But on the flip side too, think about this offensive line. And think about, hopefully I end up being wrong about this, I would love to. But you look at the offensive line and think like, okay, if they're not going to make a trade there, if they're not going to acquire somebody there, okay, why not make a move? Why not switch some things around to try to improve it? Why not do that? Because you're willing to do all these things on defense, but on offense, especially an offensive line, it's like you're set in your ways. So it's just something to think about. Anyway, he said, smart coaches know this game isn't complicated. If you win the turnover battle, you win games, period. That's how the Steelers keep competing with any quarterback. Mike Tomlin never loses sight of what wins football games. Relentless defense, disciplined offense, and forcing turnovers. Now, that part is true about what wins football games. Said relentless defense, disciplined offense, and forcing turnovers. Yeah, that can make things a lot easier for you. That's very true. But Mike Tomlin being used as an example, that's he's interesting because while he has stayed afloat with a lot of different quarterbacks, it ain't like the Steelers have been this dominant team year in, year out. They've been over 500, but again, that's that statistic where it's like, they technically over 500, so they don't go below, but they be like right around it. But I get what you're saying, though. Anyway, he said, meanwhile, we've drifted from everything that made us feared in the AFC North. Ingraven, you've got a real voice in this fan base. I just wish you called this out more directly because it's time someone said it plainly. This team has lost its Ravens soul and has tarnished the legacy Ray Lewis built for them. I don't know if we can recover from this. Thanks for listening and giving fans a voice. Oh, no problem at all. Now, that last part where you said this team has lost its Ravens soul. And you said it has tarnished the legacy Ray Lewis built for them. Who was the only person on this team when the Baltimore Ravens won that Super Bowl with Ray Lewis? It was somebody who was there with Ray Lewis in that era and who has taken over completely, who's taken over the identity of this team. Who is the person that has been there? Because it ain't Lamar Jackson. It sure ain't Lamar Jackson. That would be John Harbaugh. So, it seems like your frustration is directed at the wrong person. Next question came from my guy, Hart Heavy. He said, hope all is well with you in spite of the Ravens season not going so well. It does look like a win streak is possible once Lamar Jackson is fully healthy. This still isn't a Super Bowl team. Would you want the Ravens to turn this around and be 1 or 2 and done and John Harbaugh's job is safe, or finish 10-7, we clean house and offer Bill Belichick whatever he wants next year? Ooh, that's another sneaky one right there, another sneaky head coach possibility that I haven't thought about enough. I remember when all that stuff was coming out of North Carolina about a possible buyout and whatnot. I got to thinking then, but then I completely forgot about it. Anyway, no, I still think that I think John Harbaugh, again, after that article, it just made me feel like he may be a lot safer than we hope. But I still want them to go on a run. I do not want the season to be done. I don't want them to be dead in the water. I don't want them to just be playing games to get through the season and then officially be, no. I want them to fight and to make it into the playoffs. And I don't want a lot of stuff that you're talking about. I don't want any of it to happen. But again, if anything short of the Super Bowl, I would still want Jonathan Harbaugh and the Ravens to move on from each other. The end of an era. Next question came from my guy, J-Fiah. He said, hey, Ingraven, so glad you got to go to the game with the fam, but sorry for the product you had to watch. That's stupid. It ain't no big deal. He said, also, you just casually let us know that the governor of Maryland invited you to his suite. Our boy doing big things. Oh, it ain't no big deal. It's cool, though, man. I appreciate you. He said, whatever it is, you deserve it. You deserve the best, man, because of who you are and what you do for Ravens Nation. Now, back to the sad reality of our football team. I have been a big defender of John Harbaugh, but this is getting out of hand. This team used to have heart when the chips were stacked against us. We reeled off 10 wins in a row one season. We were the number 1 seed twice. We were supposed to be the best roster in the NFL, and now it's all crumbling apart. I've appreciated what Harbaugh has brought to the organization and this team, but I think the time for a new voice has come. I ain't trying to be like the Steelers and keep a coach that just has us be all right. See, J-Fiah gets it. What my guy was talking about in a previous question with Mike Tomlin, using him as an example is like, yeah, but at the same time, nah. Because Steelers, they just been afloat. They've been afloat. They ain't been like this dominant team. Oh, yeah, we got. No, they just been hanging around. Anyway, he said, I want to win another Super Bowl. What have you appreciated about Harbaugh, and what won't you miss if he leaves? Oh my goodness, I love that. With John Harbaugh, what I appreciated about him, just him letting the players have a good time, him letting the players be themselves. I appreciated that. I appreciate, like, obviously when they're winning, everything is a lot better. But I appreciate the little goofy, corny dances and stuff that he will be doing when he be celebrating and whatnot. I appreciated that. Obviously the Super Bowl, too, and just how that team had looked dead in the water at some points throughout that season. I remember when we got whooped, when we got the Broncos game with that pick six. Oh man, with Joe Flacco on the ground just sitting there. But even worse than that, the Texans game. Oh my goodness, well, we got beat down by the Texans in that one. So, we had lost Terrell Suggs for a good amount of time that season. But how they came back. They came back, and I know the whole mutiny thing and Ray Lewis Harry, like, Harbaugh, we ain't having that. But yeah, so that's what I appreciate. Now, what I won't miss if he leaves, I would say a lot of the game time decisions, a lot of the mind games that I feel like don't really accomplish anything. A lot of the senseless 2-point conversions, in my opinion, a lot of them I just don't agree with, and especially when they do the same thing for their 2-point conversions. Like every time, it's that same rollout to the right, and then they throw to Mark Andrews. It's just been a lot of the same old stuff. And that 2-point conversion been here for years. Like, it's been here for a long time. I think even before Todd Monken. That's just a Raven play. But anyway, so yeah, that's a good question. I love that question, man. Appreciate that. He said, I have appreciated his mindset in adversity and motivation. I won't miss the mafia mentality of Hood Harbaugh, though, LOL. And my other question is, what kind of coach would you want us to go after if we do drop Harbaugh? Personally, I would be interested in a defensive-minded head coach who would be willing to bring in a great offensive mind as an offensive coordinator, like Belichick did with Josh McDaniels. I think our defense needs that grounding to return back to their roots. But would love to hear your thoughts, man. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but I love this team, and I hate to see them underperform like this. Thanks for all you do in the Ravens Nation and giving us some joy in the middle of all this. And just like Cooper Rush in the fourth quarter, I'm out. There's a question right there. But what type of coach would I love? I wouldn't mind just really, whether it's defensive minded, whether it's offensive minded. And I know this just sounds like really generic, but somebody who's just really going to get the best out of this team. And somebody who is going to consistently put the guys in position, offense and defense, for them to have success. And somebody who really is willing to look outside of the norm to bring success to the Baltimore Ravens. Not just somebody who's going to, and I'm not saying John Harbaugh does this, but not just somebody who's just going to go with the same old stuff. Not somebody who's just going to go with safe options, but somebody who's going to really go in and really go for it. And that's what the head coach, that's what the general manager, that's what offense, defensive coordinator, just the whole staff, whole front office, man. I just really don't want the Ravens to play it safe. He also said, I was watching the 49ers and Falcons game, and after they won, Kyle Shanahan was talking about how many injuries they have had and how players have stepped up. This got me thinking the 49ers have stayed having injuries these past few years, and not just small ones. They've lost McCaffrey, Kittle, Fred Warner, Joey Bosa, and others for a significant time, and they have stayed competitive. They just lost Warner, and they are still first place in NFC West. Yeah, that's crazy, man. They lost Fred Warner, probably the best linebacker in the game. And they still doing their thing. Anyway, he said, this is something the Ravens used to have. This is a sign of good coaching and player development. To me, this shows that there should be no excuse for the coaching staff of the Ravens about injuries. You got a team like the 49ers, who we have a 5-1 record against under Shanahan, still competing and having a winning record despite major injuries. I don't want to hear injuries as an excuse for this coaching staff, because we have seen a coaching staff who is rolling with the punches. That's true. Couldn't have said it better myself.